Hello, students. How are you today? I believe that you are doing well. So, this is our second lesson about ratios, and it is a continuation of the first lesson that we had. Now, we have already learned that if I have a ratio like 2 to 4, it can be written in simplest form when we get, let's say, 2, we divide it by a number that is divisible by both 2 and 4. So we divide it, let's say, by 2. So 2 divided by 2 divided by 2 to 4 divided by 2. So this will give us 1 to 2. So we can simply say that the ratio 2 to 4 is equal to 1 to 2. Okay? You know, these are equivalent ratios. And now that's how we can write it in simplest form. To write it in simplest form, it means reducing the numbers that form this ratio to the level that they cannot be reduced anymore. Now, if we have, let's say, a ratio 15 to 20, let's say we have a ratio 15 to 20. We can write this in the simplest form by getting a number that is divisible by both 15 and 20, like, let's say, that number is 5. We say 15 divided by 5 to 20 divided by 5. So that we come up with 15 by 5, that will be 3, and 20 by 5, that will be 4. Now, we see that the ratio 15 to 20 is equal to the ratio 3 to 4. Do you understand that? Now, this is the simplest form of the ratio 15 to 20 because we cannot be able to reduce 3 and 4. In other words, there is no factor that is divisible by both 3 and 4. So that's why we call this the simplest form. Okay? Now, what happens if you have a ratio that is in fraction form? Let's say you have a ratio like 2 out of 3 to 5 out of 6. How can you be able to simplify this? Or if you have a ratio like a ratio that is in a decimal form, let's say you have got 0.12 to 0.56. How can you simplify that? Let us see how to do that in our example number 1. Simplify each of the following. Number 1, we have 2 out of 3 to 5 out of 6. Number 2, we have 3 out of 5 to 8 out of 9. Okay. Now, let's rewrite it as 2 out of 3 to 5 out of 6. What we are going to do, we are going to get the LCM of the denominators. So the LCM of 3 and 6. Okay. Now, the LCM of 3 and 6 is 6. Okay. Now, we are going to multiply each fraction by 6. So this means that we are going to have it as 2 out of 3 times 6 to 5 out of 6 times 6. You see that? Now, we know that 3 divided by 3, we get 1, and 6 divided by 3, we get 2. You see that? And we know that 6 divided by 6, we get 1. Also here, we get 1. Now, implying that we are remaining with 2 times 2 to 5. And this will give us 4 to 5. You see that? So it means that therefore, the ratio 2 out of 3 to 5 out of 6 is the same as 4 to 5. You understand that? All right. Now, let's do example number 2. You see, it is exactly the same as example number 1, so that we understand it very, very well. Okay, let us rewrite this ratio 3 out of 5 to 8 out of 9. Okay, let's get the LCM of 5 and 9. Okay, we get the LCM of 5 and 9. Now, the LCM of 5 and 9 is 45. Okay, now let's go ahead and multiply each fraction by 45. We get 3 out of 5 times 45 to 8 out of 9 times 45. Okay, let's go ahead and reduce this. 5 by 5, we get 1. 45 by 5, we get 9. 9 by 9, we get 1. And 45 by 9, we get 5. Now, we are going to remain with 3 times 9 to 8 times 5. So that 3 times 9 will give us 27, and 8 times 5 will give us 40. Now, we have the ratio that is 27 to 40. You see that there is no common factor of 27 and 40. So it is already in simplest form. We say that, therefore, the ratio 3 out of 5 to 8 out of 9 is the same as the ratio 27 to 40. Okay, I believe you have understood how to simplify the ratios that are in fraction form. All right, let us deal with the decimal ratios in example number 3 and 4. We have got 0.12 to 0.56. Okay, how do we simplify this? Let us first write 0.12 as a fraction. That is the same as 12 out of 100. So 0.56 will be 56 out of 100. Now, since the denominators are the same, 100 and 100, In short, we say that the LCM is 100. And when we multiply each part by 100, you see, if we say this times 100 and this times 100, we are going to remain with 12 to 56. You understand that? So we have 12 to 56. Look at the ratio 12 to 56. Do we have any common factor of 12 and 56? Yes. We can use 4. We get 12 divided by 4 to 56 divided by 4. So that 12 divided by 4, we are going to come up with 3. And 56 divided by 4, we are going to get 14. You see that? Now, we are having 3 to 14 as the simplest form of the ratio 0.12 to 0.56. Now, we can say that the ratio 0.12 to 0.56 is equal to the ratio 3 to 14. Okay? Now, someone may come and say that, okay, I have 12 to 56, and you say, okay, I will divide it by 2. So you get 12 divided by 2 to 56 divided by 2. Now, this will give you 6. Okay? 56 divided by 2, you'll get 28. But you will see that 6 to 28 is not the simplest form. So again, you have got to continue and reduce it. You can again divide 6 by 2 and 28 by 2, so that you come up with 6 divided by 2, that is 3, and 28 divided by 2, that is 14. This will be the simplest form. It means that you have finished because you cannot reduce it any further. Okay? All right. Let's get to example number 4. We have 0.36 to 1.2. Okay. Let us rewrite it as 0.36 to 1.2. Once we make it a fraction, this will be 36 out of 100 to 12 out of 10. The LCM of 10 and 100 will be 100. Go ahead and multiply each fraction by the LCM. So we get 36 out of 100 times the LCM, that is 100, to 12 out of 10 times the LCM, which is 100. Okay? Now, this 100 goes with this 100, this 0 goes with this 0, so that we remain with 36 to 120. Now, we can divide this by 12 right away so that we get to the simplest form, other than dividing it by 2, 2, 2, 2, or by 3 or by 4. We get the biggest common factor. You get that? And that will be 12. So we get 36, we divide it by 12 to 120 divided by 12. Now, when we get 36 divided by 12, we are going to get 3. You see that? And when we get 120 divided by 12, we are going to get 10. Now we get the ratio 3 to 10. Now we say that 3 to 10 is the simplest form. We say, finally, 0.36 to 1.2 is equal to 3 to 10. I hope you have understood how to simplify the ratios that are in a fraction form and the ratios that are in a decimal form. Determine whether the following pairs of ratios are equivalent using the cross multiplication method. Okay. Now, let's have 4 out of 7. The ratio 4 to 7, we write it as a fraction, 4 out of 7. And 20 out of 35. That is the same as 20 to 35. Let's do cross multiplication. You see that? Now, let's get 4 times 35. 4 times 35. 4 times 35. 4 times 35 will give us 140. Let's get 7 times 20. This will also give us 140. Now, since 4 times 35 is equal to 7 times 20, then it means that the two ratios are equivalent. So we say, therefore, 4 to 7 is equivalent to 20 to 35. I hope you understand that very, very well. Okay? All right. And actually, you see, if you have 4 out of 7 and you have 20 out of 35, you just get 20 out of 35. Reduce this fraction. If you divide this by 5 and divide this by 5, 20 by 5, you will get 4. And 35 by 5, you will get 7. This is 4 out of 7, and this is 4 out of 7. It means that these two are equivalent. Okay. Let's get to number 2. Let's check whether 5 to 9 and 15 to 18, they are equivalent. Let's write them as fractions. So we have 5 out of 9 and 15 out of 18. Now, once we do the cross multiplication, it means that we are going to have 5 times 18. That will give us 90. And now we get 9 times 15. That will give us 135. You see, what we are doing, we are doing something like this. And this is what we call the cross multiplication. Now, you can see that 5 times 18 is not equal to 9 times 15. Okay? Since they are not equal, then it implies that these two ratios are not equivalent. So we say, therefore, 5 to 9 is not equivalent to 15 to 18. You get it? Why? It is because 5 times 18 is not equal to 9 times 15. You get that? For number 1, these two ratios are equivalent because 4 times 35 is equal to 7 times 20. I hope you get that. Now, I would like you to get to page number 6, page 6, and page 7. You do practice. Page 6 to page 7. You do practice. Okay, let us stop here for now. In our next lesson, we are going to look at the ratios of many numbers. Thank you and have a good day. Goodbye.